Okay, good morning, everyone. I want to talk today as we move into the final quarter for 2020. What a year it's been. I want to talk today about consumer behavior, customer behavior, and how we can help grow the customer activity of our organization. This is an important subject, especially as we look at a lot of our incentives where we see that customer activity on our part, managing and nurturing customer relations certainly plays a big part in our growth and our success in managing our businesses. So I want to talk about that. It's an important element. There are, in my opinion, three critical areas of our business. The first, customer acquisition, of course. Every commission earned is the consequence of a product sold. So if you want to get great commissions, it's certainly going to start by learning and then knowing how to teach others how to acquire, nurture, and develop customer relationships. The second, of course, is getting those customer gatherers so that it's not just us getting customers and looking after those customers, but we're finding others that want to do the same, so that we're building now an organization of people that find, engage, and retain customers. And I'll repeat those three words: find, engage, and retain. We don't want to simply get one-time customer orders, do we? We want to have the repeat business that comes from customers. I'm going to talk about that a little bit today. And then the third thing, which is critical, is building a community that people want to belong to. That's an essential part of this business too, isn't it? So acquiring the customers, nurturing them, engaging them so that they don't just become one-time customer orders, but repeat customer activity. Two, finding others that can do the same. And then third, of course, we know is building a community that people want to belong to. So this is a place that people enjoy being. So I want to focus today on stage number one, customer acquisition. I'm going to do a screen share, and I want to show you the 5 stages of customer decision-making process. So bear with me. Let me pull this up. Okay, can everyone see that? Okay. Yeah. It's got the 5 stages, the consumer buying process. Yeah. So what we see here is a 5-stage process actually introduced, surprisingly, in 1910. That's when it began. Well, this was when it was first introduced by a man by the name of John Dewey. So this was introduced back in 1910. The experience of the customer, or the mindset of the customer, actually remains the same today. The process is different with technology that they go through, but the mindset, the psychology remains unchanged. Now, this is important. I want to go through these different stages here to see how we deal with each of these steps in our own business. So step number 1, the customer recognizes, first of all, that they have a need. I want to ask you a question. In that process, as we're talking with people on our list, because of course our contact list involves customers and prospects, so this can apply to both here, of course, customers and prospects. When you're talking to your potential customers and your potential prospects, are you talking in the context of discovering needs and providing solutions? If we are not, then we're making our business largely irrelevant. It's very critical, isn't it, that as we're speaking with people on our lists, that we take the time to listen, to understand what their needs are, and discover. This process for us in acquisition of customers and aligning with business partners really requires a lot on our end of listening, learning, and understanding. And as the saying goes, we should seek first to understand before we should be understood. So first, we seek to understand what are the needs of our customers, what are the needs of our prospective business partners, and how then can we meet their needs. The first thing that they're going to do is want to know what their need is. When they discover that, they move on to the second part, which is an information search. You can provide that search by providing the solution, but you need to understand that step 3 is always going to be involved in the process. What are the alternatives? So you can provide some immediate solutions, but at the same time, it's human nature, isn't it, to seek out alternatives. I know when I go shopping with Kim, we go into a big mall. Kim and I have very different shopping standards. I'm gonna pause the share for just a second. Can you see me now? Let me stop the share 1 second. Okay, here we go. Yeah, Kim and I have very different shopping behaviors if we're going in a conventional shopping space. If we go to a shopping mall, I might go into the first store. If I'm looking for shoes, for example, I'll go into a men's shoe store. I'll try on some shoes. I might find one that I like and I go, oh, there we go. We're done. We're sorted. I'll have these, thanks. And she'll go, no, not yet, Ben. We need to see if we can get a better deal somewhere else.
Here we go to better deal. Let's spend the next 5 hours.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And then we go around every other store in the mall, looking all over the place, trying on different shoes, at which point I'm getting increasingly more frustrated because I get bored shopping very fast, right? And then typically for me, I'll go, I kind of like that first one that I tried on. And we'll go back and she'll go, well, at least, Ben, we can say comfortably, you've explored all the options, you know the best deal for you, and she's got her mind at rest. Men and women, I think, do shop quite differently. She wants to know all the alternatives to make sure she's getting the best deal possible. But the people that we know, the people on our lists, will want to do similar things, even though we're providing a great solution to their problems. They're going to want to see what are the alternatives. Now, something important pops up here on our list of things to do as business owners. And that is, we should know what the alternatives are. We should know. We need to do our research to help the customer in their process, because they're going to come back to us and say, that's really great that you're offering me this particular product. Let's say it's the KVB, but I've found another shake out there that I can get down the road at Whole Foods or wherever it may be, and it's this price. Why should I spend that much on yours when I can save so much on mine? We need to be able to have the answers. We need to do the research. So it's important that in the process of providing solutions to our customers' needs or our future business partners' needs, that we can know what the competition says or does and know how we compete accordingly. Now, sometimes you may find that a particular product or brand may compete in one area or another in a more favorable way. We're not always going to have the most perfect solution. Okay, because I think that's quite rare indeed. I think we often have significantly unique products that give a unique advantage and selling point over everyone else. When we have a unique selling point over others, where we can say, you just can't get this technology anywhere else, we have the advantage. When we have the only product like KVB that is 100% organic in the way that it is in its ingredient mix over every other direct-to-consumer business out there, we have an advantage. So there are times where we have a significant advantage. But at the same time, we need to understand what are the typical concerns, questions, or solutions that a customer will want to get answered in the process that they go through. This requires us to put ourselves into the mind and heart of the customer themselves, not into our own position where we go, oh yes, but I'm so in love with my product because I've been using it for 15 years that you just need to think of it in the way that I see it. No, flip it the other way around. get in their shoes. They have never used the product before. They are unfamiliar with the technology. They see the other competition out there and they're formulating their own arguments. So in that mindset, how do we gather our information and how do we gather our solutions in order to formulate a compelling response? So the first step, like I said, is they're recognizing that they have a problem to fix. Our response, therefore, is we need to have solutions to solve, to provide for them. They're going to look out and gather information. We want to gather and provide information for them that provides the answers to those questions. They're going to evaluate. They're going to look at all the competition. We need to do the same, but put ourselves in their position so that we can then provide the answers to their questions in an informed, educated, and encouraging way. As a consequence of that, they're going to follow that next step, which is evaluate. I'm going to go back here to the screen sharing process here. Okay, so they're going to go back to, after they've evaluated the alternatives, hopefully we've been involved with them in this process where they can lead to making a purchase decision. Now, I would suggest when we're being front and center, when we're talking face to face this way with people, as a lot of this business involves, we want to make sure that a lot of our touch points are occurring between this recognition of need and evaluation of alternatives. In fact, as you go through this, you will see we should be involved and having touch points every step of the way, shouldn't we? What place would make you feel nervous as you look at these 5 steps? If you were to remove yourself from the equation, if you were to remove yourself from the equation at any point during these 5 steps, which one would be safe? Can you think? If you weren't involved in the recognition of need, could you still get a customer sale? Well, no, you couldn't, could you? If you removed yourself from the information search and you didn't provide added information, not just for you, but were able to provide answers to the competition and how we fare and how we compete and why we're better, what our USP, our unique selling points are over and above the competition. If we didn't participate there, could we still get a sale? Maybe. If we've got good relationships with the people, if it's warm market, if they're willing to take a chance, if they're willing to spend a little bit differently or act a little bit differently as a one-off. But that seems to me, if we remove ourselves there, that they're doing us a favor versus us meeting their needs, right? So it's not too good to remove ourselves from that section. As they evaluate the alternatives, do you want to be absent there? Well, actually, that's a really scary place to be absent, isn't it? If our customer or potential business partner is now looking at different options and you want to go quiet there, then that is very dangerous because we'll have done a lot of work leading up to that point and it could all go missing from there on. What about when they make the purchase decision? As they're about to say yes or no, do you want to go radio silent for a couple of days? Because being quiet here isn't about being totally absent. It's all about timing, isn't it? How frequently should we be involved in our communications with them then? If they're about to make a decision, if you've given them a product to test, to try, to experience for themselves, and then rather than getting in touch with them the following day or the day after, we leave it for a week or so, what happens then? The best time for people to make a decision is when the experience, the emotion is at its highest. When the emotion is at its highest is when you're having immediate contact or when they're having an immediate experience. When they're having that immediate experience or contact and the emotion is at its peak, then is the best time to make a decision. And if we remove ourselves just by being absent-minded, being distant, being forgetful, and we follow up a little bit too late, we can miss out significantly. And here is a place where a lot of people fall down: the post-purchase evaluation. This is critical. What happens if you get a new customer, they've made a decision, they've got a product now, or they've joined you in the business, and then you go quiet? Now what happens? Do you get repeat orders? Do you get repeat business? Do you get their engagement? No, you don't. I want to stop here and share an experience, something that I've learned that's been really reinforced with the sales that I've had with my book, that have taught me a really valuable lesson. My publisher recently said, Ben, we've got a great opportunity to feature you in this particular book club. They have an email list that goes into, just the thousands. And to be featured here is great. It'll do your book wonders. But we want to encourage people, of course, to buy the book. We would like to reduce the ebook, the Kindle version, to 99 cents for the week only that it is going to be present on this newsletter. Are you okay with that? And now, what profit do I get as an author in selling the book for 99 cents as an ebook for that week when it's going up to thousands? You would think, well, sell it maybe at a discount perhaps, or some other special offer, but they would drop it right down to 99 cents. Why is that? And this was the reason that they gave. They said, the reason we do this is because you will attract a lot of sales as a result of being in that newsletter. And if we get that price really down low there for your book, now I recognize selling a book is a different space to selling Nikken products, but bear with me while I get to my point here. They said, in doing that, what will happen is people will read your book and talk about it to others and recommend it to others, and you'll get the cross share, the cross pollination that comes as a result of writing a good book. So that week I sold comfortably over 1,000 books in one day. The day that it was announced on the newsletter, I sold well over 1,000 books just in one day. It was great. Now, the reality is, what's my profit as an author? Almost nothing, right? But why am I excited about that? It's because of all the sales that came afterwards where it wasn't discounted. Because what was happening, they relied on word of mouth, recommendation, and advertising. Now, what does this have to do with step number 5, which is, of course, the post-purchase evaluation? What I'm talking about here is, I'm not suggesting that we reduce in value or in sale price to our customers a product down to 99 cents in order to get a sale. That is not how we operate in Nikken. I'm not suggesting that as some type of follow-up activity, we give away product for free or drop it to 99 cents. Book marketing is different to Nikken marketing. But what I do want to emphasize is the principle that they had, which we share, that is this, that what people do afterwards as a result of their experience counts for our business. I'll say it again. What our customers do after they've experienced our product directly impacts our business. Therefore, what we do with our customers after they've had a product experience directly impacts our business. If we fail to have, if we have all of this personal touch at the front end of their experience and joining us and partnering with us, we find out what their needs are. We're so involved. We're so interested in knowing how they feel, what their concerns are, and what have you. They purchase a product and then we stop the engagement or we limit it. Then we're going to sell ourselves short. They're not going to recommend us. What we need to see is a very happy customer leads to other happy customers. We want to give them, now, again, in that process, there are lots of different ways that we can provide that sense of happiness to a customer. depending on the volume of customers that you have. I know there are some on the call today that have a lot of customers. So having a newsletter that goes out, for example, on a regular basis, that keeps them up to date and informed on special offers, on needs that they might have, on product information or product experiences, is a wonderful thing to do. Having newsletters to that end certainly makes a big difference. At the same time, having scheduled follow-up where you know this person is due to have a replacement for their water filter coming up, I know to follow up. So scheduling it into our calendars, appropriate times to follow up with our customers, noting little things like when it's their birthday, and then reaching out and acknowledging that is an important thing. It makes a difference. So having things like that where you can tie in, I know it's their birthday, I know it's their wedding anniversary, I know it's a special occasion for them, acknowledge that, reach out, build the relationship with people. It's so important. So make a note in that fact-finding process of all that helpful information so that you can rely on it and use it to your advantage in an authentic, sincere, genuine way in that process of nurturing relationships moving forward. Why is all of this important? You're not talking about customer sales in this time. And yet it is one of the critical times where the things that you can't measure matter most. Isn't that interesting? We often say that if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. And therefore we need to have all these measurements in place. But at the same time, there are intrinsic, essential things in our business that we cannot measure that often matter most. Those authentic, sincere moments where we have the follow-up, the conversations, the chats, and so on. My wife is great at that with our customers. We've got a customer in St. George who she just keeps in contact with on a regular basis. And all the time, as a result of that relationship that she develops, month after month after month, we get repeat sales from her. And it never feels like selling. And it never really is. That's the great thing. She's just built that kind of rapport with her where they just have that dialogue, that interaction, that relationship, and they chat, and she knows her needs. She knows her likes. She knows her family's needs. And she just weaves it into conversation beautifully. And without ever feeling like we're selling, we're moving product backwards and forwards that way, month after month with that lady. It's wonderful. She does a great job. Now, what happens when someone's having that kind of experience? Now, in a normal circumstance, it's easy to share and recommend if that moment comes up. But it's important to note that a lot of people won't think organically, naturally, to recommend you. We know if we offer a good service, and if we do all of those things, the newsletters, the timely follow-up, the personal touches, the relationship building, the customer care, service follow-ups and what have you when they've tried a product, and we get the feedback, we evaluate, we let them know that we treasure their opinions and so on. As we're going through all of those steps, which are essential steps in this process, we may think that we're doing such a great job that they may naturally recommend us to their friends and family. But that doesn't always happen, which means there is a final step that is required in this process, and that is to ask for referrals. It's a simple sentence that takes often no more than 60 seconds of any conversation that we may have. And yet that 1 60-second engagement, that little addition to the process, can have a revolutionary impact on your business. And it can simply go like this: Linda, I am so pleased that you love this product. I'm so thrilled that you're finding that this is meeting the very need that you purchased it for. This is great. This is why I'm in business, to really help people experience a difference in their health and their well-being. As you look at the experience that you've had just now with our product, is there anyone that you know or that you can think of that would like to have the same type of experience with their health or with any challenges that they're facing? Someone that I could perhaps help as well. Is there anyone that comes to mind? Now that took all of 30 seconds. And she may give you a name. And the critical thing is just to keep going through. If we apply that one activity to all of our customer activities, to each person that we ask, and you can add it in a newsletter if you wish, that may be a little bit more distant in the way that we contact and direct them there, but we can also perhaps incentivize that. Have you noticed how other companies incentivize that? They do it too, don't they? For any referral that you give us, we'll give you X. Yeah, so sometimes engaging happy customers is one of the best ways of finding happy customers. So a direct invitation with the person that you've got the relationship with can work well. When there's a warm market relationship there, when the relationship is strong, asking directly works great. If the relationship is a little cooler because it's new, it's fresh, you found them through some other distant method, maybe online, for example, and the relationship is just being nurtured, then incentivizing in some way their desire to share a referral with you is a great thing to do. Some people don't like to give discounts on products. So if I was to say you could offer them a discount on a product, discount your retail commission a little bit, you might go, oh, I don't want to do that. That's your choice. You can have the product if you've got, depending on how you operate, if you've got a number of people that live nearby, you can hand deliver the product. They avoid the shipping costs. There are lots of different ways. Maybe there's something else that you can give them as a free gift that you can send out to them that isn't necessarily a Nikken product, but it's a free gift, something that you've got that can have value to help them feel appreciated and grateful. So think about, get excited, get creative, look at different things that you can offer as incentives, because the free gifts or the special offers don't always have to be Nikken products. They can be if you choose. But if you want to get creative, if you don't like to discount, then think about different things that can add value and be worthwhile sharing that you can put in the post that will be cheap to ship, but will be very much worthwhile a new paying customer. What's a new paying customer worth to you? So I hope this has helped. Just to reiterate the 5 steps of a customer's buying process. First, they recognize the need. Second, they do an information search. Third, they evaluate the alternatives. Fourth, they make a purchasing decision. And then fifth, they evaluate the value of that decision. Was it worthwhile? The hand sanitizer is a great one. Yoko, that's a really, really good example. Yeah, something simple like one of those is great. Very small, light, easy to ship, and it's very customer focused in regards to its reason for being right now, isn't it? Very, very good idea. That's a great giveaway product. So recognize at every step of that process, we play a critical part. And we need to make sure that we recognize the value, look at ways that we can be connected, look at ways that we can add value there. And I promise you, if we stay connected, look to add value, put ourselves in their shoes, and always seek to make sure that we have an authentic, genuine relationship, we'll reach the conclusion that is profound and yet simple at the same time. Our business thrives because they love us. Yeah. When we build that relationship, it's not just the product that they like, it's us. They want to shop with us because they like us. They like the product and they like the way that we deliver it. We've got to make sure that it's both. We can't just sell the product. We're also selling us. Yeah, and that is really, really important. If we only sell the product, they can get it anywhere. There's no loyalty to us. They'll go to somewhere cheaper, somewhere quicker, somewhere easier, and we won't get the benefits at all, even though we offer a superior product. But when we link us to the equation, what is a unique selling point with this? You're not just getting a superior product with exclusive technology that can't be found anywhere else. You're also getting me. And that comes free of charge. You've got someone here that around the clock will answer your questions, resolve your concerns, help you have a great experience, and ensure you have nothing but excellence from start to finish. That's great. No other store can offer that. Not even an online store that can do 24-hour delivery. Yeah. We offer round-the-clock service, and we're here to help and to make sure that you're taken care of every step of the way. That personal touch with superior products really gives a unique opportunity to make a difference in our business. And that will get us referrals and more referrals and more referrals. And that's where the exponential growth can come. It does require that work, but my goodness, does it pay off? So I hope this has been helpful. I hope we've learned some things that we can do in different ways that we can connect at different stages of that thinking process that our customers go through, and see perhaps maybe where we're lacking and where we can step forward and improve. Thank you very much. Let's reach out to our customers today. Make sure that they have a good personal touch, a unique, authentic connection with us, and then move forward with confidence. Take care, everyone. Have a great week. Bye-bye.